Good morning, it's James. I do hope and pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, thriving, and well. So I believe I know the answer to this question even before I ask it, and I believe your answer is going to be an emphatic yes. Have you, as you look at the world and how people see the way that you show up each and every day, optimistic, loving, compassionate, open, courageous, willing to put yourself way out there, has anyone ever said to you, you know what? That's an unreasonable way to be these days. Don't you know what's going on? I can tell you. Oh my goodness, if I've been called unreasonable and delusional and way too out there by a lot of people all over the place. And I take that more and more as a sign that I'm on the right path. I'm going to read to you something from Carolyn Myss that, oh my goodness, when I read this, I was like, this is just truth. This is word, or a whole bunch of good words. Are you ready for this? You might even just want to kind of close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, because this is like an affirmation for the beautifully unreasonable person that you are. We are at the beyond reason point of our evolution, meaning that the type and scope of the problems we are confronting now cannot be resolved by a mere gathering of reasonable people sitting around a table. If we are going to solve the problems of the world, they cannot be done by reasonable people sitting around a table thinking about what it is they philosophically believe can be done and should be done without being beautifully unreasonable and going out there and doing something about it. Listen, I'm not a political person in terms of I don't spend time on media reading about politics. It's just not a good use of my energy, but I am hyper political for the things that I believe in, the things that I value, the things that I believe are truth and justice, and simply the way common humanity needs to come together where everyone, every single one, is supported and seen and loved and encouraged and given the basic rights that every human being deserves. That's my politic. I am also a political believer in that this is a time where the people who are in the political arena, oh my goodness, I'll leave it here, please, could be doing so much more. The unreasonable ways that many of them show up are not doing anything other than furthering separation between all of us. Every single one of us being further separated because of ideologies that absolutely are not about common humanity, and they do not speak to the heart of common humanity. What they speak to is personal agendas and ways that they can continually use politics to further their personal gain. And I'll leave it there. I'm not going to talk about hate. I'm not going to talk about divisiveness. I'm talking about demonizing or humanizing. I'm just going to talk about humans. And we know all of us, including the politicians, can be doing so much better today. So if we're going to wait for politicians in the political system to start doing more to help solve the problems that are happening across the planet right now, then you know what? We may be waiting because it seems like all that happens these days is they sit at tables and talk about reasonable experiences that they could be parts of and reasonable channels that they can work from. What if we were to start being the ones who are unreasonable and then lifted the politicians to start knowing, oh my goodness, this is what we're working for, this is what we're working towards, and this is what the demonstration of true policies of humanity look like. This is what they look like. When they see you being beautifully unreasonable with how compassion and love and light and acceptance and inclusion and heroic ways that you show up each and every day under the influence of that belief. That is the policy that people look at and go, oh, that's the party I want to be a part of. That's the party that should never, ever end. And that's the party we should all be a part of. So today, as you look at what is happening in the world and you think, oh my goodness, they're still trying to be reasonable or sitting in their silos of ideology and separation, what if we stepped away from all of that and we became beautifully unreasonable? Where peace, love, compassion, inclusion, and doing it in such a heroic way that when people saw you do it and they saw me do it and they saw all of us doing it, they couldn't help themselves. They couldn't help themselves to do anything other than want to emulate and copy what it is that you stand for and what it is that your policies are all about. What a beautiful time to be beautifully unreasonable. What an incredibly important time to be courageous with your conviction. And what a critical time to allow your courage to come through you, in you, and as you. I see you. I'm voting for you. I believe in you. Thank you. I love you. Bye for now.